First of all, in regard to Bruce's personality, for those of you who don't know, we tried recruiting Bruce throughout the spring and summer. I text him, called him. He never returned my text, never returned my calls. Throughout the spring and summer, I thought he had absolutely no interest in us. And then on the day that we started our off-campus recruiting in September, he called and said, "Are you coming up to see me?" I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, you're one of my schools." I said, "Bruce, you never returned a text or a call." He said, "Yeah, that's not important." And he's right. That's why he plays so well in these games. He's not caught up in hype. He's not caught up in reputations. What he is all about is doing the best he can do on the court and off the court. People who meet him embrace him because he smiles, he's happy. And that's the way his teammates feel about him. And you could talk to every guy on the team. This team is very well connected. We're very young. We've had some serious growing pains. We've had some adversity, but they're finding a way to overcome whatever the obstacles are and play at a high level, especially at the defensive end of the floor and rebounding. Now, at the end of this game, I look at the rebounding totals, and Duke still out-rebounded us. And I told the team that wins the battle on the boards is going to win the game. But we did battle them, not quite as well as they battled us, but it was a dogfight. Every offensive opportunity, it was hard to score for us. It was hard to score for them. And our most recent games have been that way. Against Georgia Tech, against Clemson, against Virginia, and now against Duke. They're all very similar in style. And, you know, Duke has so many weapons. I know they were without a key player today, Grayson Allen, and I certainly know that makes a difference. But I thought Frank Jackson came in and played a sensational game. And he was very hard for us to guard. And he ended up scoring 16 points. So he was tied for their leading scorer with Luke Kennard. But I thought our team defense was really, really good today.
Can you talk about what does it feel like for you to see the excitement at the end of that game and the celebration from the students? And, you know, you're a program that doesn't really have that all the time.
You know, we are not the perennial powerhouse like Duke or Carolina. We don't have the fan base yet. But the operative word is yet, because this fan base is growing. We've been sold out for the last 2 seasons. The students have showed up for all the big games. Now we need them to show up for all the games. If we truly want to compete for national championship, our students need to understand this is their team, their program. They can lift us up on their shoulders and take us to the promised land. But they have to show up on a regular basis. They have to cheer wildly no matter who the opponent. They've got to create a home court advantage like some of the other teams in our league have. When that happens, which I hope is next year, considering we've already played all our games here at the Watsco Center this year. But we like where we are. We like the growth in the program. We like our recruiting. We like the guys that will be returning. We're going to miss our 2 seniors. There's no question about that. Anybody who has watched the growth in Kamari Murphy, you know, knows that he is an integral part of everything we do at both ends of the court. And Davon Reed, to me, if he's not an academic All-American, it would be an absolute shame. And I hope you write that and send it to Who Picks the Academic All-Americans, because this kid is the complete role model for what a student athlete should be. He's a great student. He's a great leader on the campus. He's a great basketball player, and he competes at the highest level of basketball in the ACC and academically at a school that's top 50 in the country. So he should be recognized for those efforts. Oh, you're here again, Tim? You lost? Oh, you are?
Bruce would just be like, fine, I'm taking it. Is that
Well, two things. It's Duke's defense. We'd like to score earlier, but they're too darn good. We couldn't get inside of them. We tried ball screen. They did a great job on the ball and helping on the roll man and then recovering to a shooter. I told Davon he's taking too many shots off the dribble. He's not getting any catch and shoot. And that's what he's best at. He's good at dribbling, but if he can get a catch and shoot, he's really, really good. Bruce, on the other hand, and Jaquan are the two guys that can break you down and score at the rim because they're so fast and quick with the ball. And in Bruce's case, he can elevate so well. So we need Bruce and Jaquan to really help us create shots for Davon, for DJ, for Anthony Lawrence, and for the big guys. And when they're doing that, then we're going to score a bunch of points. Well, you know who we had just put in? They had the bucket wrong. Jaquan Newton was the one that got the layup, and they gave it to somebody else. But he was the one. He and Anthony Lawrence combined to knock the ball loose. Bruce picked it up and threw it to Jaquan. So it was a big basket, not just for the score, but for Jaquan to feel good. And you know, he had a quiet 9 points. Well, where's Jaquan? He had 7 points and 5 rebounds, including one of the big ones right at the end. So when your guards like Bruce and Jaquan and Davon had 10 rebounds. When they're battling like that, that really helps the big men. We call it gang rebounding. Last year we had Tanya. He was fantastic rebound, and a lot of guys didn't go because they said, well, Tanya will just get it. We don't have that this year. We have Murph, who's a phenomenal rebounder, but it takes a team effort. Everybody's got to chip in. And Bruce is the best we have at getting to the rim and finishing, and then also rebounding.
You guys are 5-3 against Duke in the last 8. This program was 2-17 prior to that. What does it say about where this program is right now?
Well, we're growing, and when you compete in the ACC, every team is hard to beat. We've had great battles with Duke. We expect those battles will continue, and hopefully we'll win our share.
How did the recruiting of Bruce go after he wasn't responding to Texas and he came here?
Well, I found out he wasn't responding to anybody, and he was just going to take his visits. He already knew the schools he wanted to go to. He narrowed it down. I think he took 4 visits, Purdue, Xavier, Indiana, and Miami. It came down to Indiana or Miami. And one of his AAU coaches spoke to his mom, and Bruce's brother had gone to college in Florida, and I think there was a consensus that Miami was a good destination for him, of what we were looking for, the way he would fit in, and the kind of personality he and I have, and the relationship that we shared. Plus, he got along so great with my staff. Jamal Brunt, he said to me, I said, you want me to come up? He said, no, send Jamal. But when a kid is that honest, I said, yeah, fine with me. I'm not going up to Vermont. And Jamal went up there and hung out with him. Chris and I actually went up to Boston to visit with one of his mentors. So it was a real team effort, and he got along great with the guys. And in recruiting, it really takes a village to recruit a player. We got a lot of good people here on campus, administrators, coaches, professors, faculty members who give up of their time on weekends to come in and show them around their major field, whether it's business or engineering or what have you. And I know when Bruce came, he was very, very impressed with the academic side as well.
Do you have a substitution rotation? I mean, like he went out at 39-32 game, and he came back in 39-38. Is that you're trying to buy him minutes, or do you just have him?
Well, what we found in a couple of our losses, that it was really hard to take certain guys out, and they played what we discuss as a coaching staff is a little too long. Not enough just quick breaks. So if we can give a guy 3 or 4 minutes each half, either at one time or 2 or 3 times and near a timeout. So Buka and Dewan have basically been rotating until there's a time when we need to go small. Like today, I felt we needed, and I don't know if you realize this, Davon Reed played the last 10 minutes at the 4 because we wanted him matching up with Jason Tatum. Because Jason Tatum is basically a 3-man, and they were playing him at the 4. And Murph can guard that, but that means we have to have 2 bigs in the game. And because of their pressure, we need Jaquan and Bruce because they can both drive. And it's really a chess match. And you're trying to get the right people on the floor, just like they did. Frank Jackson was the hardest guy for us to guard. That's why he played so much in the second half. He didn't start the game, but he played 29 minutes like he was a starter.
There was a moment in that second half late where Davon made an and one, and then Kamar Murphy got a block on the very next play. Crowd goes crazy. This is their last home game. What did it mean to just kind of see them do typically what they've been doing since coming back?
When you're young, it's really hard to appreciate the future. When you're experienced, it really is much easier to appreciate the past, what you've been through for 4 years, and in Murph's case, 5 years. And there's a great appreciation for the opportunity they've had here. You know, sometimes people in general take things for granted. Maybe your health, maybe your financial circumstances, or what have you. But I would say the players here at Miami are really grateful for the opportunity they've been given here. And I think Davon and Murph are a shining example of that. And I hope our freshmen are paying attention because they need to inherit those roles. Our freshmen next year need to step up as sophomores, and they're doing that right now. And it's huge for us to have great leadership.
Jim, that play that you ran out in the under 8, the inbound all the way, 90 feet in the basket with 10 on the shot clock, was that a draw, or was that something you guys worked on?
Now it's called Kemba. But the Kemba action is for the handoff. But if you don't hand it off, it turns into a backdoor. So we called it at the timeout, and then they have to make the decision on the court. Do I hand it to Quan, or do I backdoor Bruce? And at the timeout, we said, they've been denying like crazy. The handoff may be tough, but the backdoor should be open. They executed it beautifully. Now, you also have to give credit to Davon and DJ, because they were at the three-point circle, and no one's leaving them. Because if the help had come from the backside, they might have blocked Bruce's shot. But when he got 2 great three-point shooters, no one helps.
Jim, significance of 10 wins in the league today and 20 overall.
Very satisfying to have another 20-win season. But we still have 2 huge games ahead of us. And those 2 teams are something like 33-1 at home. Florida State is undefeated, and Virginia Tech only has 1 loss. So as satisfying as today's win was and the record is now, but our work is still ahead of us. Thank you, everybody.